Hey, what's going on, you guys? Matt here, and in this video I'm gonna talk about why some of us cannot grow a beard, okay? And if we grow it, maybe it's not thick enough, not dense enough, and what you can do about that. After me doing some research on facial hair growth, hair loss, and hair follicle development, and also interviewing experts who are specialists on hair loss, treating male pattern baldness, doing hair transplants and beard transplants, I realized there is one main thing which kind of affects whether you will grow your beard or not. And this one thing is called androgen receptors. What are androgen receptors? Androgen receptors can be found in your whole body, but this time we'll only talk about the androgen receptors in your beard area, okay? In your skin, around your cheeks, jawline, and lower part of your face. These androgen receptors are units which are responding to androgens. We know that facial hair is growing because of DHT, okay? DHT, dihydrotestosterone, which is converted from your testosterone. DHT, once it starts interacting with your androgen receptors, and now I don't mean just on your face, but also on your body, it triggers hair growth, be it facial hair growth or body hair growth. If you don't have enough of these androgen receptors, or if these androgen receptors are not responding to DHT in the right way, there's not gonna be any beard growth, guys. Now you know that the ideal scenario would be to have enough androgen receptors in the upper layer of your skin, around your cheeks and jawline, in order for beard growth to be induced by DHT. And also, they shouldn't be just enough of the androgen receptors, you should also have them sensitive enough to these DHTs. Of course, sometimes it can also happen that you have just really low testosterone, and that means that there is not enough DHT which can bind onto your androgen receptors in your beard. I would say this is not very frequent because there are many guys out there with good enough testosterone levels. There are guys with great beards who have just average testosterone levels and they have great beard. Why? Because actually you don't need as much DHT for your beard growth to be triggered. You just need your androgen receptors to be sensitive enough. Now that you know that, I'm gonna share with you some tips which you can utilize in order to get a better and thicker beard. Maybe you already know this. This is the old school Rogaine or Minoxidil, which you have to apply twice a day on your beard, and this is the foam. This is the foam solution, okay? Which means that you will just spray it on your hand and you'll massage it in on the areas where you need your beard growth to be activated. What you also have to be doing, or ideally, is Derma Rolling. Derma Rolling, or using any other microneedling device, was proven to improve the effects of Minoxidil. Okay, it boosts the effectiveness of Minoxidil. And there are many studies on that. The studies were made on scalp hair, not on beard hair, so we can only assume that it may do similar things to your facial hair as well. Another thing which hasn't been proven or hasn't been studied, it has been studied but not on a facial hair again, is using L-carnitine L-tartrate. This is a supplement which bodybuilders or guys who do fitness like to use. So it has been studied that what L-carnitine L-tartrate does, it increases the androgen receptor density. It means that if you work out and then you consume your meal after your workout together with L-carnitine L-tartrate, it will just make your androgen receptors more receptive to testosterone, and it will increase the density of your current androgen receptors, for example, in your shoulders. That means that more testosterone can bind onto them and more muscle growth will be induced. what we could do here, again, it hasn't been studied, you can add the powder L-carnitine L-tartrate to your Rogaine. If you do that, it could happen, I'm only theorizing here, that the L-carnitine L-tartrate can kind of penetrate underneath your skin because of minoxidil, okay? Because of the 5% minoxidil, because what 5% minoxidil does, it helps to open up the pores into the skin and can penetrate underneath the skin. And also if you use the Derma Roller, it will cause these micro injuries on your skin that will again help Rogaine to get underneath your skin and activate some of the sleeping hair follicles or beard follicles. And the L-carnitine L-tartrate can improve the sensitivity of the androgen receptor of these beard follicles. So this is the combo, let's call it, which you can use, which you can utilize for a better facial growth. Again, I haven't been trying it out because I have my beard right now, which I'm pretty satisfied with. I think I may go on Rogaine 5% again for about 6 to 12 months, and I may even document it on this channel, so maybe let me know if you want that or not. But what I've been doing, I've been using Minoxidil, different brand, when I was in my early 20s, and I was using it for almost one year. I've seen some benefits, so I can tell that it works, but for some guys will work better, and for some guys will work less. And you can see it on YouTube. I mean, there are so many guys who have tried it out so far, and the results kind of differ. So this is the first thing you have to do if you have no beard at all, or if you have some patchy beard. This is the first thing what I would kind of try. It's inexpensive. You will not get any crazy side effects from that besides like dry skin, and that's it. It will cost you maybe $50 to $100 per year, the whole supply. Maybe with the L-carnitine L-tartrate it will be a little bit more expensive, but it's worth the try, okay? Even if you are on a budget. That's the great option for everybody. What I would do, what I would consider, I don't advise it to everybody, after maybe 1-2 years of doing Minoxidil, and maybe you realize it hasn't been so effective for you. Well, what I would do, there is beard transplant, okay? What beard transplant is, they will take out your hair from the back portion of your scalp. Again, is this hair. They will implant it onto your beardless baby face, okay? In case you have a baby face, maybe if you only have patchy beard, they will just fill out the patches with the hair. I've seen several results. I was actually accompanying one guy, it was beginning of February, and his results are great. He looked very nice, and I'm gonna update his results on this channel very soon. Again, I don't advise it to everybody. Why? Because if you ever go bald, you will want to get a hair transplant, well, you may not have enough donor hair if you have already done a beard transplant. So for all the guys who prioritize having scalp hair to beard hair to facial hair, I wouldn't advise doing any beard transplant because you need these follicles here for your hair transplant, potential hair transplant in case you need one. So I wouldn't mess with that. I would only advise it to guys who have maybe tried Minoxidil for years without any results at all, and maybe you are already in your early 20s, maybe even in your 30s, and you want to have a nice beard, but you don't, okay? So this is the time where I would consider the beard transplant, and you also don't want to get any hair transplant, okay? You have great hair, no signs of hair loss, you have great hair genetics. So then I would consider a beard transplant, but I don't really advise beard transplant to very, very young guys because you don't know how your beard hair will develop. In your early 20s, still a lot of things can change. You can still get a nice beard growth until your mid or late 20s without any beard transplant. So I wouldn't rush so much with this beard transplant before I haven't even tried like Minoxidil for 2 or 3 years, maybe 1 or 2 years at least. And yeah, don't forget the L-carnitine, L-tartrate. Again, it's just my theory. It works orally for increasing the androgen receptors in your shoulders, for example, or other body parts, and making the androgen receptors more sensitive. I don't know, again, if it's gonna work topically, okay? If you will use it topically, I don't know if it's gonna work. That's the question, that's the thing you have to try out, and I'm just mentioning it here. It's always great that you also do some research on this topic. You just don't get your information from one source like myself, but you also verify everything what you're consuming, the type of knowledge, the type of information that you find on the internet. It's very important that you always verify it yourself. Okay, please let me know how you like this video. If you want me to make more videos on beard transplant, beard growth, and beard facial hair stuff, I can share with you how I managed to get my beard. I know it's not perfect beard, but it's better than no beard at all. Okay, again, I'm 27 and I started to notice some beard growth around 21, 22. When I was like 24, 5, it already started to look a little bit better, and then I started to use even Minoxidil, and I even improved the look a little bit. I mean, I'm satisfied with the structure of my beard. It's not really as patchy, but I would like to fill in this area here a little bit more, then it would be perfect. So, by the way, for all the new guys who have never watched any videos on my channel, my name is Matt and I have done a hair transplant about 2 years ago. Now I'm basically helping out guys who are interested in a hair transplant. I'm giving out free tips, free advice here on YouTube, how to find a great hair transplant clinic, how to get a quality hair transplant which is going to be natural looking and which is going to last you a lifetime. I'm giving out one free ebook which you can find on my website, which is called 5 Things I Wish I'd Known Before My Hair Transplant. Several mistakes I made by my hair transplant research I don't want you to make. So I want you to learn before you do something like a hair transplant or even beard transplant. So if you have any questions about these topics, make sure you also comment below or just DM me on Instagram as well, Matt Dominance. And for all you guys who are kind of more interested in a hair transplant, seriously considering already, you can also apply for my consultation on my website, mattdominance.com. You will basically get a more personalized advice from me on your current hair loss situation, what I would do in your case, what clinics, what hair transplant surgeons I would advise you, what treatments, anti-hair loss treatments, what kind of medication I would advise you or I would do in your case in order to preserve as much hair as you can until your potential hair transplant and stuff like that. So this is the consultation, guys. You can sign up again in the description below. Other than that, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for watching. And guys, we will see each other in the next video, okay? Take care.